Hello, everyone. We are back with another Cupid Parasite First Step of Love. This is probably going to be what I'm doing while I have time is Cupid Parasite. I do want to finish Code Realize, but there's one more route and it'll take 5 or 6. I think Finis has endings too, so it's going to take like 6 more episodes to get through that. So once I have enough Cupid Parasite recorded so that I can edit in the evenings, then I will start working on Code Realize again to get it finished off. But I only have like 4, 5, 6 more weeks to get through the fan disc as well. I don't think it's going to happen. I think I'm being optimistic at this point, but because even if I do just one route a week, I think that I'm still not going to get it done. There's 5 characters already plus 2 routes, 2 extra routes. Unless I do like really long videos or something. I saw someone's video suggestion on my own feed from Sweet and Spicy Darling, and it was a 5-hour video just for Ryuki's route. So if they're around 5 hours a route, then it would probably take me about 3 episodes to get them done if I do them at like an hour and a half. So, which if I do it like that, then I could get each one done in less than a week. But yeah, we'll just have to see how it goes. It's okay if I'm still going to be working on the fan disc while the next game comes out, because I could do 2 games at a time still. Especially if I get my coffee first thing in the morning at 6:30 instead of going back to bed. The next morning, Raul and I leave the house and head to the chute. The key holder is gently moving about in unison with the car's motion. Is that the key holder that I got at the Mythological Society?
あ、気づいた？ほら、君にもらった後、毎日見たいなって思ってここにつけたんだ。でも、まさか本物のキューピッドが本当に女の子だとはな。
I know, he's gonna be so excited every day now.
なんでキューピッドは少年姿なんだって伝わってるんだろ
う。To be honest, I'm not sure why too. Most depict Cupid as a young male, and the Cupid in lore is depicted as an old man with a beard. But I was a girl ever since I was born. In the first place, I don't recall any of the episodes about me that are depicted in mythology. I'm sure I didn't do anything that's written. Perhaps there's another Cupid or something. Sure, like that would ever happen. I mean, if that was true, then Dad wouldn't shove everything onto me. But I don't recall ever reading anything about Cupid being a girl. I never came to the human realm before, so maybe that's why people started to make things up and made it part of mythology. Not that I remember much from before, too. Apparently I've been alive for a really long time. I don't know how old I am because the concept of time is warped in Celestia. Next time I return to Celestia, I'll ask my aunt about why Cupid is depicted as a young male. I gaze at the shaking Cupid key holder as I drift deep into thought. We finally arrive at the location of the chute where we get out to do some stretches.
いやー、よく寝たからすごく元気になっちゃったよ。
I wonder if it's going to affect his work, or if he's going to get scolded. Raul is stretching himself and is filled with energy despite getting hurt yesterday. Are you sure it doesn't hurt?
もうバッチリ。一晩ぐっすり寝れば大抵の怪我は良くなってるよ。
He still said it would take like 3 days to get over. I didn't know that. I haven't gotten hurt like that before, so I'm not sure what it's like to recover. The concept of getting hurt doesn't exist in Celestia, and I've only gotten a paper cut before after taking the human form. I'm remembering in Shelby's route where she got burned and he like freaked out and put her hand underwater.
ストーカーもいなくなったし、今日の撮影はうまくいきそうだよ。
あら、ストーカーがいなくなったってどういうことなの？
about that. What to say? Sure, the stalker is gone, but I can't tell her that I shot the stalker with my leaden arrow. I looked at Raul for help, but all he's doing is giving out a broad smile.
俺が神話についてマシンガントークしたらすっごく嫌われちゃったんだ。どうやら彼女の地雷のピンを抜いちゃったみたい。
あら、それはよかったわね。
そう。だからもう来ないし大丈夫だよ。取られたものは帰ってこないと思うけど。
Ah, I completely forgot that she took a lot of his belongings. Are you sure you're okay with that? She is one of our members, so I can get in touch with her.
もういいよ。下手に話していろいろ思い出されても困るし、俺の中でも解釈違いになっちゃったしさ。
Since they're all wrong. All wrong as in...
盗まれたキューピッドグッズはみんな少年の姿してたでしょ？
Yeah, but your towel with the arrows all over it, that doesn't say male, right? It's just arrows. Raul puts his finger in front of his lips with a childish look on his face. I guess what he means is that now that he knows that Cupid's true identity, he doesn't need those goods as the Cupid depicted erroneously. I guess how you say that.
だから代わりに俺がオリジナルグッズでも作るよ。本物のキューピッドのさ。
Please no.
冗談だよ。
It's gonna have her face written all over it.
じゃあそろそろ撮影始まるみたいだし、俺行ってくるね。演技ちゃんと見てね。
Raul lets out a meaningful smile, then makes his way to get his hair done.
あの顔は何か掴んだみたいね。
Does she already see a change in him? Really?
ええ、いい演技をする前、必ずラウルはあの顔をするの。一体何があったのかしら？
Raul's agent looks at me as if posing a question to me, but I sincerely don't know the answer. All I know is that we were attacked by the stalker and that he found out that I was Cupid. He's not mistaking love with his excitement of getting to know a real god, is he? No. No, he's not.
じゃあ行くよ。アクション!
The shoot begins with the sound of the clapperboard. The actors acting as passerbys will walk in unison with the camera on the rail. Amid them is Raul. He's gently holding the acting heroine's hand and lets out a smile like a blooming flower. Ah. He has a bashful yet happy look on his face. The face of someone in love. Amazing, so Raul finally gets it. He told me that he'll put on the best act ever, and best act he did. The expression on Raul's face is that of a man in love.
いいよいいよ。そのまま次も行ってみよう。
The scene continues without stopping like before. Raul expresses the joy and sorrow of love with all of his body.
ミア、俺はさ、将来は君と一緒に幸せな家庭を築きたいんだ。白い壁で、赤い屋根で、庭は大きくて。
Raul continues his striking act, a role of a sad man who knows that he will never see love. Just seeing his act is gripping my heart with sorrow. I didn't know acting could change the dynamics of the scene so starkly. I'm sure this movie will be a success. Everyone is probably thinking the same because no one is stopping the shoot.
ラウル、やればできるじゃないか。今日の演技は完璧だよ。
He sounds so relieved. The movie director is hugging Raul like crazy after the shoot ended.
おお、いってててて。そこは怪我してるんで勘弁してください。
おっとすまんすまん。いやーでもまさか一日でこんなに演技が見違えるだなんてな。素晴らしいよ。この演技をラウルに期待していたんだ。よくやってくれた。
ラウル、驚いたわ。よくやったわね。
よかった。
Raul lets a smile of relief, and then he looks at me and comes dashing my way.
先生、キューピッド的にもどうだった？俺の恋の演技。
It was great.
本当？
Raul lets out a bright smile and holds both of my hands in his.
君に OK もらえるのが一番嬉しいよ。なんたって人の恋を見続けてきたんだもんね。
Well, sure. Still, I'm not sure why his acting changed like this so suddenly. I wonder if it's really because he found out that I'm Cupid. I am a god, so maybe he changed his acting from sheer surprise of seeing a god that was only in his imagination. I don't feel like I helped any, so honestly his praise feels also weird. To add, my heart is throbbing right now after seeing him act. He really did look like he was sincerely in love with the actress. I guess we're done for the day, so I'll be...
よし、ラウルの演技が良くなった記念にたまにはみんなで飲みに行こう。近くの店予約しとくからな。ああ、ラウルの恋の演技の先生も参加してくれよ。予約人数に入れとくからな。
Huh? Me?
他にいないでしょ？
But...
いいのいいの。監督との飲みは結構緩いからさ。一緒に行こうよ。
ええ、スタッフたちのうちわ飲みみたいなもんよ。せっかくだから行きましょう。
Can I really join them? It feels awkward to get myself in the mix, but the director did invite me, so I guess it's fine. To be honest, I'm happy now since it feels like I'm finally part of the crew. Well, if you don't mind then.
やったー！実はさ、今日の撮影が終わったら君に聞きたいことがあったんだ。
Is it to finally ask her to be your official Cupid? More on mythology?
ダメ？
I should have known. Well, I sneak a peek at Raul, then burst into laughter seeing the despair on his face. Come on, stop with that look on your face. Sure, we could talk. You have more to ask, right?
いいの？嫌じゃない？
As long as it's controlled. The Admiral doesn't really dig too deep into things. He doesn't really talk much about mythology, at least not during breakfast and not while driving. It's because I told him that I'm here as a human. He probably kept that to heart. If so, I should reward him just a bit. We look at each other and we give another chuckle. My top secret information about being the real Cupid is something only Raul knows in the human world, which is why we can walk side by side telling jokes that only we can understand. It's quite a perk being able to speak with someone about things that are usually kept secret, such as stories about Celestia and the gods. Stories that I never told ever since I came to the human world. Perhaps I wanted to talk about them from before. Perhaps I wanted someone to know the truth that I'm actually Cupid. It feels so great not having to keep a secret. Lord Jupiter may get angry if he finds out I've been disclosing secret information, but I'm sure if it's Raul, he'll be fine. After all, he's the only one who seriously believes that we gods exist. And so I'm here with the crew to have a few drinks. The rest were the general motley crew of the director, producer, cameraman, and the general staff.
じゃあ今日はみんな好きに飲んでくれ。たまにはハメ外さないといい仕事もできないからな。
でさ、君に聞きたいことなんだけど。
Raul quickly takes out a bunch of papers upon sitting next to me.
これ、俺が今まで書いてきたスケッチなんだけど、ここに赤ペン入れてほしいんだ。
Are these sketches?
そう、十二神の顔だよ。俺の想像で書いたのばっかりだけどね。
The 12 Olympians, the gods of the Diconstants, the greater gods in Celestia. Is it any wonder why I haven't really spoken to with any of them? Well, besides Dad, Mom, my aunt, and Lord Jupiter, that is. The rest I only saw from afar, and most of the time from behind a pillar as I don't dare get in their way. I don't really remember much about most of them here, but...
まず、俺の中のイメージでジュピターを書いてみたんだ。これを見てもらえる？
We get to see. Raul hands me his papers and I flip to the next page. Aww. Right here, Right there on the page is a sketch of Jupiter, which almost made me laugh. He's way too sexy in these sketches. That's funny. Lord Jupiter isn't this sexy. He's more stern and he has a mask on all the time.
そうなの
Yes, he is the most prominent god. In fact, someone in the low status such as myself rarely ever gets a chance to even speak with him.
へえ、意外と序列があるんだね。
It's like that in mythology too, right? There are gods known as the Diconstantins, and they have many shrines dedicated to them.
確かにそうだね。そっか。俺たち人間が勝手に作った序列かなって思ったりもしたけど、実際もそうなんだ。そっか。やっぱりジュピターが一番偉いんだね。でもセクシーじゃないのか。あんなにいろんな女の子に手を出してるのに。
I don't know. I like the Jupiter the way he is in this game. That doesn't really sound right too. Yeah, I don't mind that at all. The Lord Jupiter I know is very strict and would never lay a finger on a woman without thought.
あと、もう一つ聞いていいかな。
What is it?
君って神様の世界にいた時からこんなに可愛いの？
That's cute. Excuse me.
顔とかスタイルとかさ、深海にいた時からこうだったのかなって気になって。
Clothing aside, I don't think anything really changed.
そっか。
He's like, yay. Raul lets out a smile and gives me a good stare.
じゃあ君をベースにキューピッドの石像を作ろうっと。どんな服がいい？
Statue? What are you saying?
ダメ？こんなにキューピッドは可愛いんだってみんなに知らせたいなって思っちゃって。
Absolutely not.
でもキューピッドが少年イメージのままなのも嫌でしょ？
Well, yes, but I don't want Raul to see me as a god. Huh? I'm confused at the thought that just crossed my mind. I'm Cupid, and exists to bring couples together in love. So what did I mean by thinking that I don't want him to see me as a god?
お待たせいたしました。オイスターです。
Wait, I thought he doesn't like oysters. Ralphie's is in place with fear, seeing the plate filled with oysters on the table. Come to think of it, he did say back during Parasite House that he can't eat oysters even to this day. So you really don't like oysters.
苦手なんてもんじゃないよ。これはサタン。悪魔なんだ。
Satan in a shell.
味はあんなにクリーミーでまさしくアンブロシアなのに、とんだ悪魔が潜んでいるんだよ。
That's really funny. He's going way overboard. Raul is shaking with a pale face. He's okay with alligators and piranhas, but he can't handle oysters. Well, yes, there are people who get food poisoning from eating raw oysters, but that's still far and few between. I was fine when I had them at the last wedding I attended in the oyster bar that Gil took me to. It's such a waste that he's so scared of the tasty morsels over one incident of getting sick. Aaron all said that it's like ambrosia, which shows he's praising them. Well, I'll have one then. I'm a god, so if I'm fine, you should be fine too.
サタンに挑むの？やめた方がいいよ。いくら君でも。
Oh, don't worry too much. Now then, which one should I try? I look at the oysters on the plate and eye them one by one. I decide to try out... Alright, which one is it? First Step of Love. Okay, this one's a save file too, which is kind of funny. On the far right. Okay. So let's make a save file. It's funny that this is a save file. If you choose the wrong one, you're going to get out of batted. Alright, we're gonna... the plump oyster on the far right. I ponder for a bit and finally decide to try the plump oyster on the far right and pop it into my mouth. So good. The creamy texture slowly melts away in my mouth, my cheeks puff from its divine taste. He really is missing out on something as good as this. It's like he really wants one. Raul is holding his breath as he looks at me eating. I give it a few more bites and swallow it down. I then turn towards him with a smile on my face. So good. These oysters must be the good kind.
そんなのわかるの？
I am a god, you know.
いやいや、人間界に来た時は人間の体になるからリスキーって君言ってたような。
Come on, Raul, try one.
でも
Poor guy. They're all good, I'm sure of it. I mean, I'm fine, see? Or is it that you don't believe the words of Cupid? How dare you? That's so mean. I tease him with my words of smile and then use a fork to scoop an oyster up to Raul's face. Come on, open wide. Raul looks confusingly back and forth between the oyster I have in front of him and my face.
でも確かにキューピッドが食べて平気ならサタンはいないのかな。こうしてみるとなんだか美味しそうに見えてきたし、オイスターってうまいんだよな。大丈夫。神が平気ならきっと平気だよ。
Raul bites onto the oyster whole. He gives it a few bites and his eyes glimmer.
おいしい。これだよこれ。まさしくアンブロシア。久しぶりのオイスターってこんなにおいしいんだ。
Right? How about another one? Not that I'll force you.
食べたいです先生。
That's so cute. Why'd you say sensei? Call her by her name. Dang it. He looks so shy there. Coming right up. I pick another oyster and scoop it up to his face again. This time Raul pauses only for a moment before biting into the oyster.
おいしい。あのネプチューン祭で食べて以来だ。やっぱオイスターは最高だな。きっと君に食べさせてもらえたからこんなにおいしいんだね。
He closes his eyes to savor the oyster, then lets out a huge pew of satisfaction. Seeing him overacting was too much for me to handle as I burst out laughing. So you actually liked eating oysters before you had that food poisoning incident?
実は一番の好物だったんだ。それでバケツ一杯分ぐらい食べてたら当たっちゃって。
I see. I'm not surprised he got sick if he did literally eat a full bucket.
でも神である君が食べて平気だったから安心して食べられたよ。ありがとう先生。
Seeing his innocent smile made my heart race. He's eating it out of trust and knowing that is filling me with joy, but at the same time, what he said made me sad. I know he called you his teacher again. His words imply that he trusts me because I'm a god. That isn't a reason I want to hear. It feels like it takes precedence over my personality and my efforts. At the same time, I guess I should be happy for being in existence that brings him ease. I smile and give him another oyster. You're very welcome. Now then, enjoy more of these oysters approved by a god.
わーい。
Raul happily pops another one into his mouth. So I think that this is going to be the confrontation. She's gonna take everything he says as in he's saying it because she's a god and not because she's a person. And it's the opposite for him. I mean, yeah, this is because she's a god. It's like, oh, she didn't die, so I'll trust her, but everything else that he does, he's just gonna do it because it's her. Seeing him happily down the oysters is again filling me with joy and sadness. Even so, it sure is good to see Raul eating them with a smile on his face. I shouldn't dwell on the details. What's important is what's happening now. I scoop another piece from the plate and place it near Raul's face again. Raul bites onto it like some kind of domesticated animal. His actions are so funny that Raul and I finally burst out laughing together.
あらあら。あ、本当にあの二人ったらいい感じね。
I was wondering if she was gonna notice.
どう考えてもラウルの演技が良くなったの彼女のおかげよね。意外と彼女気づいてないみたいだけど、演技も問題ないし、そろそろ契約は終了して良さそうね。今度の面談の時に言わなきゃ。
She's gonna take that as, okay, I shouldn't see him anymore. Oh my goodness. Just don't.
じゃないと俳優ラウル・アコニットにとって良くない展開になりそうだもの。
Yep, the antagonist. Dang it. The next day, we arrived at the shoot only to learn that the director was hospitalized. Oh no. The director got food poisoning from oysters.
やっぱりサタンはいたんだ。俺が無事だったのは君のおかげなんだね。
The god Cupid saved you. I don't think that's true.
それで今日の撮影はどうされるんですか？
今日はお休みということで、すみません。もっと早くに連絡できたらよかったんですが、監督と連絡ついたのがついさっきでして。そっか、それじゃあ仕方ないね。じゃあ先生、俺と一緒に。あ、すみません、監督からだ。はい、もしもし。監督、検査したら盲腸だったって？
は？
盲腸ですって？
はい。はい。わかりました。では、お大事にとお伝えください。
それで撮影を？
すみません。手術と入院で、おそらく2週間ほどお休みが必要とのことで。
2 weeks.
その間、撮影を一時中断とさせてほしいとのことでした。そっか、サタンって盲腸まで引き起こすんだね。怖いな。
I don't think oysters and his dependents link at all.
むしろオイスターに当たったってのは誤診かもしれないわね。
So if the shoot is canceled for another 2 weeks.
じゃあ先生、俺と2人で。
あら、これは助かるわ。ラウルの撮影をどこかで入れなきゃいけなかったの。ほら、CC の広告用の。
Cupid Corpse ad, huh? Oh, I forgot about that. Thank you very much for reminding me.
じゃあ今日はその件について打ち合わせしましょう。ラウルはいてもすることないから家に帰って休んでてちょうだい。
Hey, this means they can spend the 2 weeks to work on the relationship, right?
でも俺も。
ゆっくり体を休めなさい。怪我もまだ治ってないんでしょ。最近働き詰めだったしちょうどいいわ。
That sounds like a plan. Raul, please rest for today.
じゃ、早速行きましょう。行きがてらダフさんにも連絡を入れるわ。
I'll see you again, Raul. Bye.
あ、うん。じゃあまた。
Aw, he's so sad.
せっかく恋の演技ができるようになったのに休みか。監督、大丈夫かな。
We found ourselves in the meeting room at Cupid Corp HQ. Raul's agent and I have finished discussions with Duff handling the ads and are now taking a short breather. We're each drinking a cup of freshly brewed coffee.
いや、これでうまくいきそうだわ。 ありがとね、アドバイザーさん。
She's gonna break off the contract here. Same here. I'm sure we'll get more female members with Raul acting as our poster boy. Which would mean that I can bring more people together. A perfect situation for me as Cupid.
双方うまみのある話だし、ラウルは演技もうまくなったし、これでもう大丈夫ね。
Huh? The ancient smiles and gently places the coffee cup onto the table. Suddenly her smile is replaced with a serious expression.
あなたのおかげで本当にラウルの演技は見違えるほど良くなったわ。とても感謝しているの。
Oh, I didn't do anything.
いいえ、きっとあなたでなければこうはうまくいかなかったと思うの。だから社長さんにもきちんと連絡しておくわ。契約は無事に満了よ。こんなに長く演技のレッスンに付き合ってくれて本当にありがとう。
Oh yeah, I forgot she was doing this for a raise, so she probably got that. That's right. The contract was made under the notion that I would help until Raul's acting was fit for his role. His acting is amazing. There isn't anything I can do to help now. I should be happy I accomplished my goal, but I'm sad that it's ending too. Thank you very much for using our services. If there's anything, please come to us again.
ええ、また何かあったら頼むわ。では、私はこれで。
We both bow at each other and leave the meeting room. I see Raul's agent off at the elevator before returning to my desk. My work as an advisor to Raul's acting is done, so this is where I'm going to work again from tomorrow. I don't need to go to the shoots anymore, even when the director returns. I said that I'll see Raul again, but I guess it's a lie now. But this is what my job is about. It's something I already knew from the beginning. Yet somewhere inside me I'm sad, which I shouldn't be, considering I can return to my job of matchmaking people again. The agent mentioned she put in a good word for me, so I'm sure I'll get a promotion. But my chest aches. I sit at my desk, feeling a bit unsatisfied. He has your number. He can just call you. This is new. Oh, he's at the museum. Isn't that... Oh, I forgot to read that. A sudden day off. With nothing better to do, I decided to head down to the museum.
ミラーさんも一緒にいたらよかったのに。
I look around, writing down my theories into a memo. Too bad there's no one I can talk with right now. It's so fun being able to share and exchange thoughts.
なんか乗んないな。
I wander around a bit and gaze at the map that shows the route and achievements by Alexander the Great on his expedition to the east. For some reason, I'm strangely attached to the Alexander the Great. Maybe it's because I've traveled the world too. I wonder what it feels like to conquer all the places you go to.
でも、アレキサンダー大王は32の若さで熱病にかかって死んでるんだよね。
Sure, I like traveling, but not malaria. Suddenly, I get a call from my agent.
まずい。美術館は電話禁止だっけ？
Why not? I quickly go outside the museum.
はい、ラウルです。
あ、ラウル？無事に撮影日が決まったわ。明日空いてるわね。
はい。それで、打ち合わせは終わったんですか？
ええ、ついさっきね。
Which means she's available. Just the thought brings joy to me. I better call her now and we can go out together and...
それで、あなたの演技が良くなったので、出張アドバイザーの契約は終わらせてきたわ。
え？
How dare you? You ruined it. Terminated what? Why?
俺の演技が良くなったから？
次の撮影からは彼女はいないの。そのつもりでよろしくね。
I wonder if his acting is gonna go south because she's not there.
勝手なことしないでください。どうして俺に相談しないんですか？
Whoa, he is angry. I guess I'm yelling now. I only realized that from how loud I am. What am I doing? I shouldn't be yelling at my agent. She's kept my schedule and looked after me, always making the right choice for me at the right time. Even so, this is crossing the line. I can't believe she just ended things without letting me know.
すみませんとなったりして。少し頭冷やします。
I cut the light and then sit on a nearby bench. No, I can't imagine being at the shoot without her. I put my head down in anger. Then again, I also know I'm just being childish about this. I mean, she was only my temporary advisor who was hired to help out by my agent. Since my agent put the contract together, then it is her right to terminate the contract. My job is to act, and that's it. Only Sillywood actors know it's best to just listen and stay with the program. But she's not just an advisor to me now. I want her to be by my side, but our relationship was simply something that would fall apart with termination of the contract.
俺、バカだな。出会ったら別れもある。ずっと俺の常識だったじゃないか。
I became friends with the young boy I met at the Petra ruins and the old granny working at the local bazaar under the notion that we'd part ways one day. We'd have a meal together, laugh together, and exchange buttons on our clothing in commemoration. What? Okay. I did plenty of things to keep old times to mind. Meeting and partying ways with others adds layers to your life. That's what my mom and dad said too. But not this time. I want her to stay by my side, even if there's no reason for her to be with me. This is the first time I actually want someone to be with me, so I'm really not sure what to do. I never thought parting ways with someone would be so painful. Go get her.
びっくりした。あの子が声を荒らげるなんて今までなかったのに。いつも素直に私の言うこと聞いてたものね。でもいい傾向だわ。これできっとまた演技に深みが出るもの。ラウル、頑張んなさい。ここが俳優として踏ん張りどころなはずよ。欲しい人がいたら私に連れてきてもらうんじゃダメ。自分で動くこともいい学びになるはずなんだから。
Oh, and she's secretly rooting for him. That's cute. Go get her. Adventures in love. I wonder if he's gonna go get her in this one. We'll go ahead with this plan then. Welcome on board.
こちらこそありがとうございます。ではお願いします。
Yes, leave it to me. It's been a few days after my contract with Raul's folks ended. Folks? You mean like the crew? I'm surprised he waited this long to wait around. I guess he's thinking through his options and sorting out his feelings about it. I'm back to my usual work of handling new members. I was worried whether I can get back to my groove, but I've been able to sign up 5 customers already today. I need to support them and make sure they find happiness in marriage. As for my promotion... Hey, do you get to see Shelby? Dang it. I haven't heard from him at all. I thought the president would contact me, but for some reason I have not heard a single word from him still. I don't think he forgot about me, but...
Chi?
I feel like it's Chi. It's been a while since I've seen Chi after being scared away by Raul. Chi flutters gently onto my lap. Well, I can see him later today. That aside, I should get back to business, bringing people together again. What's important for me is to bring people together. I matched a couple today, and I'm sure they'll end up married one day. As for the other person who didn't seem very confident, I'm sure this member would be a perfect match. These two have been dating for quite a while, so I should check on him and see whether he wants to marry her or not. The human Cupid is working hard as usual here. Huh? An email? Who could it be? Shelby. Finally. You've been given a promotion. All that's left is to dispense with the formalities. Okay. What does that mean? I stand up from my seat and put my fist into the air. Poor Chi, you like threw him off her lap. Promotion, I finally did it. Now Dad can't complain to me anymore. I made it this far as a human. I'm sure I can convince Dad now. It's been so long. After going to college and majoring in psychology with a focus on romance and love, I finally got into Cupid Corp. In a year, I was recognized as the top bridal advisor within the company, then assigned to the Parasite 5, and now a promotion. A bridal manager, or maybe the chief advisor? I can't wait to learn what my new position will be. I'm sure I'll become a matchmaking specialist that is worthy of my professional background on love. I'm going to be the human world's top advisor, a literal god of bonding. Of course, I am a god, so. But with this new status, I'm going to slap my dad in the face with words of happiness from the couples I've brought together. I'm sure Dad is finally going to agree after he sees what I've done and become. This is only like halfway through his route too. Like, I wonder what's going to happen. Let's see. It's a little bit more than halfway, but we got like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more sections after this, so lots can happen. Everyone I brought together are doing well. Things are going even better than back when I was working as Cupid. I can already see my dad's face now, frowning at my results in jealousy. I should let my aunt know that I'll return to Celestia as soon as I get that promotion and... When I return to Celestia. I know, it's like you just got a promotion and you're just gonna leave. I'm done? Huh? I stand in silence as if I lost sight of the mountain I was supposed to climb. I was running with all my might all this time to get to the top, but I never once thought of what I'd do once I reached the top. I started this challenge to prove that humans don't need the gods, but once proven, there's no reason for me to be here. I brought more people together as a human than I did as a god. What else is there for me to do? I guess I'm back to shooting arrows once I return to Celestia. After proving that humans are capable and don't need goals, I'll go back to being a Cupid again. It doesn't make sense. But I don't think the gods will allow me to stay in the human world and continue my job as a normal human. But I won't be able to see everyone again once I return to Celestia. My precious friends, Clarice and Gil. And of course, Raul. I don't want to part ways with Raul and return to my position as the god of love. My memories being with him sits in my mind heavily. The Raul who listened to everything I said, I loved seeing his innocent, happy smile. The thought that I would never be able to see his eyes again is making my heart wrench. My life in the human world with him was filled with happiness and joy, which is why I don't really want to go back to Celestia, even if that is my homeland. I see. When did I start to feel this way? When did this place start to feel like home? Even though I've only been here for 6 years, I feel a stronger emotional connection to Lost York than I do to Celestia. I would be happy if I could just live here forever, and I would be even happier if Raul were here with me. He's not under my care anymore. He's a full-fledged Hollywood actor now, which means I won't be able to meet him so casually like before. I guess I should just go back home to Celestia if I can't see him again. I can't get myself to make a decision. First, I better let my aunt know about my promotion. She helped me get to the human world. She supported my ambitions, so she should be the first person to know about my promotion. Then I'll go see her and discuss if there's a way I can convince the gods to let me live in the human world. Of course, if my aunt is against the idea, then I am out of options at that point. I did use my leaden arrow too. I better ask her about that. I used my divine artifact, so if Jupiter decides to look for me, he'll probably find out where I am in an instant. Didn't you think that Chi looked like a divine beast that was with the Jupiter in the museum? You probably already knows everything about what you're doing.
Chi?
Yeah, see? He agrees. Chi. Oh, it's nothing. You're so lucky you don't need to think like me.
Chi?
He's like, yes, I am. Chi comes and rubs against my cheek. Come to think about it, I got Chi to worry about too. Celestia and the human world both are places I can't sever ties with. I never thought that I would have more than one place that's important to me. In any case, I better first discuss what to do with my aunt. What I at least know now is that I don't want to go back to Celestia. Hopefully she'll talk some sense into you. I'm done with my photo shoot for Cupid Corpse ad. With nothing better to do, I decided to wander around the city.
ああ CC の仕事ならまた先生に会えるかもって思ったのにな。
If you want to go see her, why don't you just stop by? Unfortunately for me, the shoot wasn't held at Cupid Corp's headquarters, so she wasn't there, and all I could do was listen to what everyone wanted me to do with my agent and the marketing folks. The photo shoot went fine and ended quick. As for the movie shoot, the director had things to take care of, so I have the rest of the day open all to myself.
どうしよっかな。今日は国立図書館で調べ物でも。
If you're free to go wherever you want, why don't you just go to Cupid Corp? I don't understand. Suddenly I got an email from someone. I take out my phone to confirm it was from one of my friends with the Mythological Society.
これは。なんだって
I yell the moment I read the email. Inside were words stating that untouched ruins were discovered in Greece.
しかも学会メンバー全員ご招待、友人も勝って太っ腹すぎるよこの教授。
There you go, bring her along. I'm hyped as heck now, and I keep reading the email. Untouched ruins in Greece. They projected that it was built around the 20th century BC. Adornments found in pyramids and in ziggurats were found, speculating the ruins were used for politics. Seems they need a lot of help.
それで発掘調査に参加をするなら友人もかってわけか。
I keep reading the wall of text going into the details of what they know right now about the ruins. They are also speculating that it may have been built in a way to the world of gods, the stairs leading to the heavens. The text ends with the statement that they want as much help as possible, as they want to investigate the ruins as soon as they can.
ちょうどいいや。撮影も中断してるし、発掘に俺も加わろうっと。あとは。
Maybe I can invite her to come with me. I mean, if the ruins are supposed to have been built in a way to the world of the gods, I'm sure she's going to find it interesting. Yeah, but she's got work to do too.
それにここに友達を連れてきていいって書いてあるし。
I'm just trying to find an excuse. The reason why I want to invite her is because I want to see her.
でも誘って断られたらどうしよう。
I remember back when she refused my invitation for her to come to my home. Well, this is very different than that. Well, there's always a chance that she'll say yes and come with me. I shouldn't give up before I even try. To be specific, I'm more scared of not meeting her than being told she doesn't want to be with me.
よし、誘っちゃおっと。
Good, don't just like sit here and just wait around. It's so annoying. She taught me how to love. She reminded me how I used to like oysters. The world is brilliant when she's around, and she makes everything fun and exciting. Which is why I want to meet her, and when I do, I'll finally let her know my true feelings. I'll let her know how my acting has improved, how I feel lonely when she's not by my side. All that and more because of one reason. Do it. Don't make us wait. I'm done with my work for today. I'm heading to the Happy Forest Cafe right now. I made a promise to meet my aunt there to discuss about my promotion and what to do afterward. I go inside the cafe like before and find my aunt gathering attention from people around her. I guess she made herself visible to humans again.
キューちゃん、元気だった？
Lady Minerva, thank you for coming.
かわいい姪っ子の頼みなら宇宙の果てにだって行くわ。それで相談ってどうしたの？
Guess what? I got a promotion. I spread open the letterhead that says that I'll be promoted to the position of Chief Bridal Advisor as I puff out my chest in pride. I'm now officially at the top of Cupid Corp, the #1 bridal advisor.
あら、すごいじゃない。本当にやってのけちゃったのね。
She's like, what do I do now? Well, yes, to be honest, I'm not sure if this is enough to prove my point. I mean, I wasn't able to get any of the Parasite 5 to find their love in marriage. I'm not sure I can count on what I did for Raul as his temporary advisor too. But it did say that it includes making Parasite House a success and to increase the membership numbers.
それでこれからどうするの？
That is the dilemma at hand. That's actually what I wanted to see you. I went through all of this so that I can prove a point to my dad, right?
そうね。
But I never thought about what to do after that. If Dad sees my point, that means I would have to go back to Celestia, right?
あら、そうなっちゃうわね。でもほら、人間界に未練とかはないの？
Sorry, my phone went off during that. Well, yes, which is why I haven't come to any conclusions yet. To tell you the truth, I actually want to live here. I was promoted and people are expecting things from me, so I don't just want to drop my work. If I did, someone else would take over and that'd be trouble. Then again, it's a problem to Celestia not to have Cupid around, right?
あら、大丈夫よ。
Why'd she say it like that? Did you replace her? You sound uneasy, I know, right?
いえ、ちょっと今は Q ちゃんに帰ってこられると困るっていうか。
What's going on to Celestia? Is she using my room or something? I'm not surprised if she were. I can see my aunt filling my room with her favorite Human World collection. If that's the case, then maybe I can stay here a bit longer. I'd love to just show Dad what I did and gloat in his face, but I'm scared that I won't be able to return here once I step foot in Celestia.
あら、それなら私が何とかしとくわ。私からいい感じにバーズに伝えておくわよ。
Something strange is going on. Really?
任せて。Q ちゃんはこれからも人間界での生活をのんびり満喫してちょうだい。
I'm so curious. Oh, but I'm forced to use my vacation hours from tomorrow. Human Resources was really mad at me because I didn't take any days off and didn't use my vacation hours. Perfect, you can go to the excavation site. How convenient.
ちょっと有給消化できてないわよ。国から叱られるのは会社なんだからちゃんと休みなさいよ。ちょうど別業務から戻ってきたばっかりで面談も入ってないって聞いたし、明日から1週間休んでください。
Like this, my vacation was decided before I knew it. This is the one reason why the company is so highly regarded. I don't expect anything less from President Snail.
あら、よかったじゃない。じゃあ、お友達とか好きな人とか誘って旅行でも行ってみたら？
Well, funny you should say so. What? A friend or a love interest? For some reason, I thought about Raul when I heard those words. Not my best friend Claris.
それに Q ちゃん、ロサンヨークから出たことないじゃない。いい機会よ。海外旅行とか行ってみなさいよ。
See the world, huh? It's true that even though I'm in the human realm, I've never been outside of Lost York, is what I think it's supposed to say. Since I don't know when I'll be sent back to Celestia, I should see what the human world has to offer outside the city. But I'm embarrassed to choose who to ask out. Maybe it'll be nice to go there alone, but yay, good. I'm like, please don't go with like Claris. In that moment, my phone rang and I jumped up because it said Raul on my screen.
あら、お友達からの連絡？
I think it's funny how it quotes the word friend. I'm not sure. Guess I should go check. With my heart racing because of the perfect timing, I looked into my phone. The board members of the Mythological Society asked me to join them on an excavation of some ruins discovered in Greece. I have to leave tomorrow, so I'll be gone for a week. Would you like to come with me? A week? How convenient. A week from tomorrow. I wonder if this was set up by her aunt, maybe. The dates perfectly overlap with my paid holidays. This was such a coincidence. Also, excavation, huh? That sounds fun. Anything I haven't experienced seems fun. Also, judging from the attached documents, it seems like it was a private ancient ruin.
あら、ギリシャに1週間？いいじゃない。行ってきなさいよ。
She suggested to like go with a friend on a trip to go see the world. I wonder if she did this. Hey, Aunt Minerva, you shouldn't spy on someone's private messages like that.
キューちゃん、私の名前なんだっけ？
Don't call her aunt. Apologies, the Lady Minerva.
まあそれはともかく、ちょうど旅行いいかもって話してたところに、このお誘いはぴったりじゃない。行ってきたら？
It's true that I thought about who want to go with. Raul was the first one who came to mind. But is that really okay? I mean, I'm not his advisor anymore, so I mean, you're friends, aren't you? Jeez. Wait, no. The fact that he's not a Cupid Club member anymore means there's no problem, right? Exactly. We're not advisor and member anymore. From now on, we're just friends. We basically reset our relationship, so now I can talk to him like a normal person. Well, there you go. There's no conflict of interest here. I'm no longer helping him find love. Huh? My heart started to race again. I've been feeling so weird lately. When I'm with Ra, I'm so happy. When I'm far from him, I get lonely. And when I'm asked out, I'm glad. As Cupid, if I need to give a name to this feeling, I can only think of one. Well, there you go. No way. It must be my misunderstanding. No, it's not. There's no misunderstandings. Go. There's no way Cupid can fall in love with someone.
あとちょっとね。
What? Did she say that out loud? No, she didn't. Just a little bit more. What does that mean? Huh?
こっちの話よ。それよりもギリシャ旅行楽しんできて。
Yeah, she's definitely trying to push them together. Thanks. She's right. I shouldn't miss this opportunity to go to a trip abroad, and he asked me out, so... Also, I'm sure Clarice won't be able to suddenly take paid holiday for 1 week from tomorrow. And it'll be boring to go on a trip abroad alone. Oh yeah, I have no reason to decline at all. A precious chance to go to Greece. Also, we get to excavate a special ruin. That's just exciting. Alright, I'm answering. More than that, I was just simply glad that I could see him again. This feeling is the only thing I need right now. After I replied to Raul confirming that I'd be going, I started thinking about my preparations. Are the sun's UV rays strong in Greece? Then I need to buy some sunscreen. I would also my clothes, toothbrush, and...
楽しみになってきたみたいでよかったわ。男性と旅行だなんてハネムーンね。
No, it's nothing like that. We're just helping out with the excavation and...
ま、そういうことにしときましょうか。
She's like, whatever. Aunt Minerva replied with a sly smile. She definitely had the wrong idea. No, she's planning all of this herself. Auntie really loves romance. When we were back in Celestia, she used to shine her eyes and say what a wonderful love while watching romance movies. There's nothing special about this trip. Definitely not. Probably, maybe. Our paid holidays overlap completely, and since I was interested in Greece, I'm going. I made many excuses to myself and reread the email again many times. I hope this isn't going to be too long. The last one was 40 minutes, and if this one is another 40, because it says Adventures in Love or something like that, so it's probably going to have the whole excavation site, which means this episode could be really long. So I will go to Greece with Raul, and the next morning I went to Raul's house, which is our meeting spot. Bye! Several minutes later, we were on Raul's private jet. There's no choices in this one, so we just get to read. Oh yeah, I forgot that Raul had a private jet. If he went on a normal airplane, it would cause a commotion. I totally forgot because I frequently used cars lately.
シャンパンとか飲む？
Raul looked into my face with a bottle of champagne and a champagne glass in his hand. His happy expression made me smile. Thank you, then I shall have some.
やったー！一緒に飲みたかったんだ。
He made an innocent happy smile, and Raul poured champagne for us both.
じゃあ、乾杯！
Cheers.
それでさ、添付の資料見た？これから向かう遺跡の概要。
Yes, I did. It was amazing. I can't believe new ruins will be found now.
突然雷が落ちてきて岩盤が崩落したことで見つかったらしいよ。まるでゼウスが見つけてって言ったみたいだよね。
It's like Lord Jupiter was telling you to go.
しかもこの遺跡長らく土の中に埋まっていたから保存状況が良かったらしいんだ。今までの常識が覆るものが見つかるかもしれない。
Well, if Chi really is his spy, then it would make sense if Jupiter was involved. I didn't think that it would actually be possible.
うん。それで深海につながってるかもって言われてるけど、ピラミッドならともかくこの写真を見る限り地下に広がってそうなんだよね。地下ってことは冥界につながっちゃってるのかな。ジャパンのよもつ平坂みたいに冥王プルートに会っちゃったらどうしよう。
Pluto, the king of the underworld, he's the god who controls death, known as Hades in Greek. If possible, I don't want to encounter him.
そういえば神たちはどうやって人間界に来るの？もしや古代都市アトランティスの神殿のヘラクレスの柱が扉になってるとか？
No, gods travel to the human realm from the tree to Advent, which Lord Jupiter made, so I don't think Celestia is connected to the underground. This is the entrance we used after we got permission from Lord Jupiter. I never used it, so I don't know where it connects, but simply thinking the gods might come out of the hollow tree in the world of the human beings. And when I go back to Celestia, I heard that our divine artifact will lead us back as long as we can see the sky. Well, it doesn't mean that no other gods secretly have a different way to Advent like Auntie. It's true that I used her door.
え、そうなの？木のうろって狭そうだけど羽はぶつからないのかな。そもそも羽が生えてないとか？
No, she doesn't. Raul received new information, started to develop his imagination using his knowledge. Come to think of it, Mom complained about getting scratches on her wings. Perhaps Auntie's secret gate is more pleasant. Of course, I won't tell Raul about the secret gate, since it's secret. Well, yes, it's tough to Advent, so that's why gods barely come to the human realm.
いやー、でもこの世にはたくさん異界につながる場所があるって話だし、実際神隠しに会う人だって多数報告されてるんだよ。地下に木が生えてれば可能性上がるってことだよね。あー、どうしよう。本当に深海につながる道だったら、楽しみだな。
Celestia, huh? I'm fine if the path is to Celestia, but things will change if it was connected to the underworld. The underworld will never get along with Celestia. Mostly because Lord Jupiter made Ceres, the goddess of farming's daughter, Persephone, marry Lord of Pluto. Okay, I was trying to follow that chain. Persephone's granddaughter is what I'm thinking. But some may say Lord Pluto, god of the underworld, is included in the diconstants. I don't know because I'm just Cupid. These stories are shared only among the gods of the diconstants. So perhaps maniacs in the world of human beings know more about gods than I do. I don't know if their knowledge is true though.
それとさ、先に発掘を進めてる探索隊からちょいちょい進捗が届くんだけど、今朝また新しい壁画が見つかったんだって。
Raul moved closer to me and showed me his phone. I saw an ancient-looking bright red painting. Wait, this picture looks like Chi. Speaking of Chi, I left him behind, but I hope he's okay. I asked if he wants to come, but Chi shook his head with full effort and hid himself under the bed. He's sensitive. So the mural is a painting of Chi. Chi really is shy and sensitive. Oh, there you go. She's called him sensitive like 3 times now. Yes, it does have significance.
これ多分真珠の姿だよね。 人間世界にはいない造形してるし、でも何がモチーフなんだろう。牛かな。
A cow? How?
だって角があるし。
She is a divine beast in a cow form. That's not possible. In a cow form. But Lord Neptune has a cow divine beast, and I think Chi should be Auntie's divine beast, so... Minerva's divine beast is an owl, right?
そうだね。だからフクロウは知恵の象徴として昔から様々な紋章に登場していて。
Raul started to share his knowledge about Minerva like a fish in the water. As I told him that the statue was not Neptune but Minerva, perhaps he began to do more research about her. I wonder what this fake Chi is, and I think it's nothing like a cow. Chi has wings, and he has a fur around his neck. His tail is like that of a fox. This animal in the mural had the same feathers. I looked into Raul's phone and tilted my head again. And I think it's unreasonable to replace this animal to an actual animal in the world of human beings. In that moment, Raul put his shoulder right next to mine and put his head into mine happily. He's so near. The heat of his shoulders dominated my consciousness. When I got nervous and tried to get away from him, Raul took my hand and smiled quietly.
やっぱ楽しいな。君とこうして一緒に神話の話するの。また会えてどれだけ俺が嬉しいかわかる？
And seeing she's gonna take that as an, oh, it's because I'm Cupid, and not because he's actually in love with her. Raul whispered and hugged me. I was startled at him enveloping me softly and gently. I could smell the cologne on him, and it tickled my nose. I wasn't able to move at all since my cheek was pressed against his tight muscular body. He's so close, probably the closest he's been ever. Not ever. We kissed many times, we made love twice, but it was the first time for me to feel him this close. My heart is racing, but then I hear another heartbeat that was beating just as fast as mine. Wait, is Raul nervous too?
君との毎日がなくなってすごく寂しかった。君とまたこうして話せるなんて思わなかった。来てくれてありがとう。
His arms were not that tight. I felt the carefulness and respect like he was handling delicate jewelry. Raul hugged me many times, so there was nothing for me to be nervous of, but my heart aches and my face is hot. He looked into my face and put his hands on my cheeks. He's going to kiss me. In this moment I thought so. I immediately looked away. Wait. Aww. Raul stops. Small panting breaths come out of his lips.
待つね。
Aww. He's respecting her wishes. Still, you better take this as he's a man in love with you and not just because you're Cupid. After he hugged me tight once again, he let go of me. He became a little distant. From there, Raul looked at me with caring, kind eyes. He didn't go in for the kiss. That made me kind of sad for some reason. Well, it's your own fault. Like, what is wrong with you? You only have yourself to blame. Does that mean I actually wanted him to kiss me? No, don't. I'm Cupid and...
ほんと今日は急な誘いなのに来てくれてありがとね。君に返事もらえて本当に嬉しかったよ。君と発掘したいってすごく思って、一緒に遺跡を見たらどんなに楽しいだろうって昨日もワクワクして寝られなかったんだ。
Raul smiled with an innocent way as usual, but that smile seemed a little different this time. A mature, sad smile. Then he came to himself.
あ、と言っても君が本物のキューピッドだから会いたかったってわけじゃないよ。君自身と話したいって思って、神話以外のこともむしろ話したくて、だから趣味重視じゃないっていうか。
Really?
まあそりゃもちろんいろいろ聞きたいけど、君にも隠したいこととか女の子として聞かれたくない話もあるだろうなって思ってるし。
Raul explained how much he wanted to talk to me about to myself for a change. He doesn't have to panic that much, I won't be so mad. He seems like he doesn't want to treat me as a god, just like I said before. Well, that's good. It's fine, I'll expose the secret of the runes using my divine point of view. When I smiled, Raul smiled back.
本当？すごい贅沢だな。俺たち人間だけで発掘するよりもたくさん発見できちゃいそうだ。
I hope she really does believe that he doesn't see her, he doesn't want to be with her as a god. The people who discovered the runes would never have imagined that a goddess would be taking part in their excavation.
発掘作業って発見の連続ですっごく面白いんだよ。君にも楽しんでもらえると嬉しいな。
Thanks for the invitation. I just took a paid holiday, but I had nothing to do.
よかった。ところで、その敬語、もうやめない？
What? But
俺はもうお客さんでも会員でもないよ。君と対等になりたいんだ。俺のことはラウルって呼んでほしいし、俺は君のこと名前で呼びたい。リネットって。
Or at least he didn't say sensei. Lynette. My heart ached for some reason when he called me in his voice. I never imagined that my heart would race this much when he called me by my first name. I was always his advisor or his teacher, so now, even if that isn't my real name, I'm glad to be called like that. I understand. No, got it, Raul.
うん、ありがとう、リネット。ねえ、それよりお腹減らない？シャンパンに合うチーズも持ってきてるんだ。もちろんご飯はギリシャで名物料理を食べるつもりだけどさ、前菜ってことで一口食べようよ。
Raul stood up from his seat and walked up to the counter, smiling innocently. Not a client nor a member, his manager submitted Raul's notice of withdrawal after that, so he really isn't a member of Cupid Corp anymore. That's kind of weird. He hasn't changed at all, but my impression towards him changed completely as we got closer and closer. As I watched Raul's back, preparing our dishes happily, I drank the champagne blankly. And a few hours later, we finally arrived in Greece. Wow, amazing! Nothing like Lost York. The white streetscape, the ocean you can see far away, the burning sun, none of them can be seen in Lost York. You can't see the sun? What the heck? I know they're implying that it's probably tall buildings, but still, it's funny. I felt that we were truly in a place far away when I felt the brackish breeze.
そりゃそうだよ。ってギリシャに来たのもしかして初めて？
Oh yeah, people just don't up and travel around the world. Yes, this is my first time in the world of human beings. I've never been out of Lost York, so I know less about the world than you, Raul.
へえ、そうだったんだ。なら俺がいっぱい世界中を案内してあげるね。
Thanks. Raul told me that he traveled all around the world with his parents, who are archaeologists and adventurers. For humans, it's not how long you've lived, but how you lived. That's what I learned from the human realm.
じゃあまずはギリシャ名物を食べよっか。旅行の醍醐味はその土地のものを食べることだよ。
Well, that's nice. I'm starving.
じゃあ今すぐ買ってくるよ。美味しい店を知ってるんだ。ちょっと待ってて。
Raul said so. I ran to the street vendor nearby without waiting for my reply. He bought a strange food with a practiced hand.
はい、お待たせ。ラム肉のギロピタだよ。
Gyro?
ギロって呼ばれるラム肉の料理をピタって呼ばれるパンで挟んだ歩きながら食べられるファストフードなんだ。俺ギリシャ来たら必ずこれを一番に食べるって決めててさ、 特にこの店のが美味しいんだ。一口食べてみて。
He handed it to me, and I eagerly took a bite. I was surprised by the fragrant taste of meat with herbs and spices spreading in my mouth. It's delicious.
やった。君ならそう言ってくれると思ってたんだ。
I looked at me happily while I ate, and he started to eat too. While enjoying our gyros, we strolled around the area, keeping an eye out for our souvenirs.
でね、あそこの島にはゼウスの神殿があって、それからこっちにはヘラの神殿があるんだけど、前に読んだ本によるとその位置関係は。
Raul told me many things willingly. There were many stories in Greece even I, a goddess, never knew. The stories of the battle in ancient Greece, the stories of a strong king, and the ruins of the buildings that still remain now. Raul has traveled in many places. I'm always the one listening to his stories. This is my first time in Greece. The sun was burning and the white walls were blinding my eyes, but it was still fun. A world different from Celestia and from Lost York. This mutual feeling made me feel that I'm actually on a trip. Traveling is so fun. I should have came here earlier.
誘った甲斐があるよ。でも君がギリシャに来たことがなかったって意外だな。神様は誰も来てないってこと？
Maybe the 12 Olympians have. I've overheard them gossiping about how nice Grecian temples are. There are many places in Greece connected to the 12 Olympians, like Apollo's temple in Corinth and Hera's temple in Samos.
へえ、そっか。それはなんだか嬉しいな。でも君が今回初降臨ってことは、俺たちが知ってたキューピッドの神話は全部嘘だってこと？
Actually, I don't know about that. I was curious about that for a long time too. I don't remember doing these things, at least. I don't remember marrying Psyche, nor playing tricks on Apollo and Daphne. You know, I wonder if there is a second Cupid at this point, because Minerva said, don't come back to Celestia right now. Which means, and she's like, well, Celestia needs Cupid, right? So I think there is another Cupid. Maybe even a male version of Cupid that's in Celestia right now. Maybe she's a fake Cupid or like a Cupid replacement. I'm very curious now. But the part about the golden and leaden arrows are true.
だよね。どういうことなんだろう。
So I came up with two theories. One is that there is a special human who can see Cupid's bow. Another one is that there are multiple Cupids.
キューピッドが複数？へえ、それは面白い仮説だね。勝手に創作した説と複数人説か。どっちも魅力的な説だな。
But it's true that I'm the only Cupid now. Dad was angry that the marriage rate kept declining, but I was the only matchmaker.
マーズが恋結びしないと怒るってなんだか人間臭くて面白いね。
Yep, gods are no different from human beings, but Dad insists that gods are superior to human beings. I was so irritated I ran away from home in order to show him the true wonder of humanity. I thought Dad will change his mind a little if I produce results by living as human.
そっか。それで君はロサンヨークに来てくれたんだね。
Yes, the marriage rates increased, and I was promoted thanks to my hard work. Now he'll have no room to talk. I can't wait to tell him. But even if I don't matchmake as Cupid, a goddess, humans can matchmake by themselves with their own effort.
そっか。マーズにそれを言ったら、その後はどうするの？
Ah, yes, there's the question. Huh?
あ、いや、それよりほら見て。あそこにウーゾが売ってる。
Why did you change the subject? You obviously want to know, dang it. Uzu?
ギリシャのお酒なんだけど、神のお酒とも呼ばれてるんだ。ギリシャでしか売ってないんだよ。
You should have talked about it.
あそこも見て。壺が売ってる。キューピッド柄の壺とかあるかな？
A distraction go. Oh, wait, Raul. Raul ran away as if he's trying to avoid the question. What are you going to do after? I want to ask myself that question too. I actually want to stay in the world of human beings forever. Am I allowed to? I need to think about that while I'm traveling. I wonder why Raul made such a lonely face a few moments ago. He doesn't want me to be gone? But that's just because he doesn't want one of the true gods to be gone, right? He's an obsessed parasite after all. No, you, you've already told yourself that he doesn't want to hang out with you because you're a god. Stop that. I'm getting lost in my own thoughts again. It's ruining my Greece trip. I know, right? I'll think about it later. I made a fresh start and chased Raul quickly. Then we went around the souvenir shops and entrusted the products we bought to the hotel. Then after we got dressed in our excavating clothes, we arrived at the actual spot.
これが深海への入り口。
He looks like Indiana Jones. When we arrived at the ruins, Raul shined his eyes as usual and frolicked with his whole body.
すごいすごい。これは歴史的価値の高い遺跡だよ。こんな場所の発掘に関われるなんて嬉しいな。
Didn't she say the entrance was like through a tree?
ああ、君たちがジェームズ教授が紹介してくれたラウル君とそのお友達か。大掛かりな発掘だから頼むよ。ラウル君は確か発掘経験が豊富なんだったかな。
10歳の頃からやってます。
おお、そりゃ頼もしい。でもまあ初日だからね。今日は腕慣らしにあそこら辺に見えてる遺物をうまく発掘しておいてくれ。
はい、お任せください。
I'm thrilled to work with you. I bowed and looked to Raul right next to me. How should I say? He looks good in everything he wears. That's cute. Her hair is pulled back in her braid. I didn't expect less from Raul Aconite, the movie star. Actually, he looked better in those clothes for excavation than the clothes he usually wears. I received the tools for the excavation from the professor who was the field manager and moved on to the place where we were guided to. How do we use these?
これはハケだよ。異物が壊れないようにしながら土を払うために使うんだ。
Raul taught me the essential points of excavation attentively. Since he excavated when he was a child, Raul knew very well about excavation. He explained how we have to dig the extra dirt with a small shovel and dig out the relics without breaking them, and how we have to scratch the dirt with a bamboo winnow, put the dirt far away with a hand cart, and excavate step by step. That sounds complicated.
で、遺跡や遺物を壊さないように繊細な動きが発掘隊には求められてるんだ。それで大勢の人手が必要なんだよ。
I understand, Raul.
今度は俺が先生になっちゃった。とにかくまずはここら辺からやっていこうか。土も柔らかくて初心者にはやりやすそうだからね。
Yes. The main members will deal with the important parts of the ruin. Members of the mythological society who were half outsiders were told to search for earthenware or parts of decorations around the ruin. Oh, look at this. I found something like a fragment of a vase.
お、すごい。こっちからも石板が出てきたよ。発掘しがいのある場所だね。出土品の宝庫だよ。
We rolled up our arms. You mean your sleeves. Sat down together and removed the dirt. We lined up the artifacts on a board and excavated step by step. And then we were excavating at a cavity in a corner of the ruins. What's this? When I brushed off the dirt on a rock that was popping out of the ground, a pattern with vivid colors showed up.
お、綺麗な絵だね。これはフクロウ？
It looks like one, but the historical value seems very high, doesn't it? Maybe we should call the professor here.
そうだね。今俺が
The moment Raul stood up, I heard the sound of an apparatus click. Uh-oh. And suddenly the ground we were standing on disappeared. Oh no. We fell into a dark hole. We fell. I'm going to die. Gods never die, but it sure feels like I'm going to die.
俺に捕まって
I had to turn off the sound effects. Rob reached out his hand to me while falling and held on to me. We desperately tried reaching for anything to grab onto while we were falling, but we couldn't find anything. All we could hear was the sound of our clothes flapping in the wind blowing out our eardrums. Our visions got darker and darker, and there was nothing but darkness. Oh my goodness. I have to read another section because I don't have a CG yet. I really want to end this and continue on to another recording, but maybe this one will be short. I don't know. The moment my eyes opened, I realized I was in a cave. What? I look around, then I looked at my body and tilted my head in surprise. Didn't we fall from an incredible height? Somehow we didn't have a single wound anywhere on our body. That's a feat because I couldn't even find the hole we fell from. Forget that, where are we? I stood up while mulling that over. I had no idea where any kind of exit was. Worse, I couldn't find route anywhere. Oh no. I'm alone in a cave with no way out. Also, my smartphone has no reception. This is the worst kind of situation, huh?
あ、起きたよかった、無事で
Oh, well, there he is. That was anticlimactic. Raul ran up to me with a lantern in his head. Relief flooded me the moment I saw him. Oh my god, you're okay. I'm not down here alone.
ごめんごめん。水の音が聞こえたからさ、ちょっと周辺を簡単に探索してたんだよ。
Raul smiled calmly. Even in a situation like this, he was at ease. It seems he's fine with our current situation. Yeah, right. Well, I mean, even if there is obstacles now, you guys are kind of stuck in a cave together, so that's good, right? Raul grabbed his backpack and pulled something out of his bag. Then he placed the lantern on the floor. Quickly, he built a fire. Then he poured the water he'd gotten into a pot and boiled it before handing me a cup full of clean, safe water to drink.
はい。まずは探索前に水分補給。ただのお湯だけど、あったかいの飲むと落ち着くからさ。
Oh, what a good idea. Raul was right. The water he gave me made me feel a deep sense of relief and comforted me. It's delicious.
よかった。それでちょっと周辺を見てきたんだけどさ、俺たちが落ちてきた穴、塞がってるみたいなんだよね。
What? What do you mean closed up? Are you serious?
うん。だから多分これは遺跡の装置の一部だよ。ほら、落ちる直前にフクロウの絵が描かれた石触ったの覚えてる？
Oh, yes.
侵入者のための罠か、それともむしろ教授たちが調査している方が偽物の遺跡で、こっちが本物か。とにかく遺跡の装置のせいで俺たちはここに落ちてきちゃったみたいだね。ピラミッドみたいに謎だらけだよ。
So, if the hole we fell through is gone, how are we going to get out?
わかんない。
I don't know. Raul, how can you be so calm when you have no ideas?
経験上、多分これは大丈夫な方の遺跡だよ。落ちた先に槍もないし、風の流れもあるし、どこかに出口があるはずだよ。
But we have no reception. We might even be lost.
いや、大丈夫。それにね、これはきっと失われた秘宝が俺たちを呼んだんだと思うんだ。
Bling. Lost treasure called us here?
うん。 今までの経験上こういう装置で行き着いた先には秘宝があることが多いんだ。だから大丈夫だよ。
You think there's a high probability that we'll find some treasure?
子供の頃マチュピチュで落ちた穴の奥には地下神殿があったし、ピラミッドの罠の先にはファラオのミイラがあったんだ。
Yeah, because stuff like that totally repeats itself.
他にもいろんなハプニングを超えてきたからさ、安心して俺についてきて。
Raul's eyes got that shine in them. He put on his hat and pointed directly at the ceiling. I never expected less from Raul Aconite. Silly was Illinois Rogers. Indiana Jones. I remember Illinois Rogers as an archaeologist who overcame all kinds of situations after falling into caves. Seemed like Raul's had similar experiences as well.
それに教授たちのいる方がカモフラージュで、こっちが本物の遺跡かもしれない理由がもう一つあるんだ。それは俺たちが怪我一つなく無事なところだよ。
I was actually curious about that. We fell from quite up the height, but somehow we didn't suffer any wounds.
途中で気を失っちゃったせいで見てないけど、多分俺たちを受け止める装置か何かが下にあったんじゃないかな。
He fainted.
もしくは遺跡の神がいて俺たちを助けてくれたか。
God of the ruins.
そう、ここは地下だから予想通り冥王プルートとか。
Lord Pluto.
あ、もしかしてキューピッドの君に何か話があってここに呼び寄せたんだったりして、それだったらいいな。
He's way too excited about this. Raul, it's not. Even if this was Lord Pluto's doing, I hope I'm not about to be scolded. I can already imagine him scolding me for damaging the temple. Worse, Lord Pluto's the god of death. He might dole out a fate worse than death, too. I was trembling from thoughts of Lord Pluto when Raul suddenly burst out laughing.
怖がるのそこ。もう面白いな。
Well, if he was the god of death, I mean, you probably would be too, if you knew him personally. I'm afraid because the 12 Olympians are terrifying, a god like Cupid could never disobey them.
でもマーズには反論したんだよね。
That's how because that's different. Well, he's my dad, that's different.
仲良し家族なんだ。いいね。いつか君のお父さんに俺も会ってみたいよ。
Be careful what you wish for, you might be disappointed. He's nothing like what you've imagined, even though he's the god of war.
思わないよ。それに別に軍神マーズに会いたいわけじゃない。君のお父さんに会ってみたいだけだから。
Oh. What? Raul just wants to meet my dad? He doesn't want to meet another god? My cheeks grow hot as I blush. I gulped down the last of my water and stood up. Let's get going. The sooner we leave, the sooner we can see Dad. Let's find that exit.
そうだね。いやー、でもリュックも一緒に落ちてよかった。水源もあるし、しばらくは地下で暮らせるな。
We can?
うん。こんなこともあろうかと、保存食たくさん持ってきたしね。だから安心して。
He was prepared to fall in a hole. You know, I did think his backpack was awfully big for this trip. Raul is a great survival expert. He really is prepared for any kind of emergency.
それじゃあ、失われた秘宝を求めて出発だ。トレジャーハンターラウル、いざ聖戦へ。
Wait, Raul, you mean the exit, right? What do you mean by holy war? Do you secretly have the crystal skull? What? Must be an Indiana Jones reference that I don't know about. I never watched any of those. After Raul's exclamation, we walked to find which way was windward. We examined the flow of water, then read the wind. Raul's confident, calm figure was so reliable, I felt like I could follow him without any concerns. Raul helped me up the cliffs by hand. After that, we walked through enough that we could create a map. While walking, I listened to Raul tell the stories about ancient Greece and Egypt. He told me about the Ptolemaic dynasty and also about Homer's epics. He even talked about who made these ruins by using his knowledge of the designs inside. After a while, we decided to take a break near the place where we found the mysterious statue. I don't think I've ever been this exhausted in my life. I sat down on a stone and leaned on Raul's backpack. I desperately needed a break. It seemed like Raul had energy to spare. He was currently examining a statue right next to us.
すごい。この石像にも金箔がついてる。本当にこの遺跡は今まで発見されたことがなかったんだな。早く教授に教えたいよ。専門家のみんなと一緒に調査したら、誰が作ったのか、何年代のものなのか、もっと詳しくわかるのに、勉強不足が辛いよ。
Well, I think you know plenty. You don't have to worry about not having enough knowledge, you know? I have no clue where and when all of this was made. Modern humans who investigate these ruins closely know more about the past than the gods who have lived through it.
でもこれって一体何の像なんだろう。さっきの石像は間違いなくプルートだと思うから、多分これは別の神だと思うんだよね。ねえ、この顔の神様って深海にいる？
I can't say I do. Then again, there's loads of gods I've never even met before.
え、そうなの？
Of course, Cupid is a lower class god. I haven't even met all the 12 Olympians. Lady Juno is so touchy that she barely makes appearances. Of course, I've also never met Lord Pluto, god of the underworld.
へえ、つまりマーズ、ヴィーナス、ミネルヴァとは会ったことがあって、他はちょっと見かけたぐらい、もしくは会ったことすらないのか。
Also Jupiter. Exactly, Lord Neptune, Lady Diana, and Lord Apollo are pretty popular as Celestia, so sometimes they'll make appearances too. I've also spoken to Lord Jupiter, but he always wears a terrifying mask. Plus he only said 1 or 2 words to me.
体育会系だな。ティーン向け映画のクラブ活動でよく見る光景かも。
Gods and humans are no different from each other.
それは朗報だよ。
I smiled and looked at the statue again.
でも深海では見かけない顔ってことは、やっぱり冥界の神なのかな。これは鍵？あ、ってことはアイアゴス？そういえばそこの壁画にアリが描かれていたよね。そっか、あれはきっとミュルミドン人なんだ。となるとそのうちラダマンテスやミノスの像も出てくるかも。うわー、テンション上がってきた。
Hopefully I don't have to pronounce any of these words. Where does all this energy come from? I gaze at Raul continuing to rest. He puts his energy to good use and excitedly illustrates the statue.
プルートの石像にミュルミドン人にアイアゴスの像か。これでこの遺跡が冥界の神のために作られたってのが明白になったね。じゃあ進んでいたら冥界にたどり着くかな。
Well, I think I want to be close to is the exit route. Don't push me. Ooh, I wonder if they're close to the underworld, if we're going to see Alan in this one, because he's the incubus, right? He could be associated with the underworld.
冥界と言ったらやっぱりケルベロスだよね。ケルベロスいいよな。男のロマンだよ。いつか会ってみたいな。
Is he talking about the three-headed guardian of the underworld? I heard that they devour those who try to escape.
あ、石像動かしちゃった。
Oops. Huh? In that moment, I heard an apparatus activate and the ground started to rumble. Well, there you go again. Huh? Huh? What's going on?
ケルベロス出てくる？
Oh my goodness. Don't look so happy. Isn't this a trap?
でもアイオゴス像ならきっと大丈夫だよ。彼はゼウスにとても愛された子だったから。
You don't know if the person who made the ruins intended to. While we talked, something came up from the ground. Maybe it's really a Cerberus. I just can't. In the moment I tried to hide behind the rocks, there came out a car. A car? A car?
車だね。
Is it Bubble Pig? It's even with 4 wheels, and it seems helpful in searching inside caves.
もしかしてアイアコスからの贈り物かな。俺がインディ・ジョナーズの撮影で乗ってたやつと全く同じ車だけど。
Wait, are these ruins a theme park version of Illinois Rogers?
フルートってお茶目なんだね。まあいいや、乗ってみよう。
I have learned from this game to expect the unexpected, and the car showing up in the ruins is clearly unexpected. Raul took his baggage and got in the car before I could stop him, then the engine started involuntarily.
え
Huh?
まずい、これ乗ったら勝手に動き始めたよ。早く君も乗って。
Why don't you get off?
早く。
He's like, get in. Raul pulled me and I got on the car, and the car started to run at the same time. The car moved forward, running on the rocks, and it suddenly started to run down the hill. Oh my goodness. Ah! The car ran down with full speed, and our visions moved up and down. It's just like a roller coaster. No way. I clung onto Raul not to fall off. Raul grabbed the steering wheel and shined his eyes.
あ、これ操作できる。よーし、このまま進んじゃおう。
Or at least someone's excited. Then step on the brake.
それだけは聞かないや。
Of course not. Then how can you stop?
でも見てごらんよ。さっきまで通れなかった道が広がってる。秘宝への道が開けたんだよ。
Isn't that a trap?
きっと大丈夫だよ。お宝目指して出発。
It's probably fine. It's not the time to have fun, you know. I screamed, but the car wouldn't stop. The car went up and down violently, and we went down the hill at once. I clung onto the car in order to not get shook down from the car. You mean thrown off? Some of these translations, man. And several minutes later, the car finally stopped. Pant, pant.
楽しかったね。
I thought I was going to faint. I got out of the car and stretched out to the floor. I was so happy to feel the ground. Is it just me? I think I saw something very weird on our way here. I think lightning went through the wall. We saw a fountain, a big snake statue with red eyes, and an altar with tons of candles. I even got spooked. Then Raul got off and put his baggage on the ground, and then he looked around.
あれ、行き止まりだ。
Oh no, should we head back?
見落としてなければここまで一本道だったしな。まあいいや。今日はここで休もう。
Or stay there overnight?
ほら見て。水場もあるし、なかなか良さそうな場所だよ。きっとアイアコスがここに導いてくれたんだよ。
I hope so. It's true that gods can guide humans like this, but usually we use animals and change the weather instead of bringing cars.
お腹も減ったでしょ。すぐにご飯作るよ。
I took out some food stuff and a frying pan from his backpack. He really has everything in his backpack. Oh, it's delicious. I let out a sigh of relief after I took a sip of the soup Raul made with his provisions. I was exhausted after being swung around by a fake roller coaster, climbed cliffs, and walked all day.
疲れた？
Yeah, how about you, Raul?
ま、俺は慣れてるからね。
Raul finished eating his meal with a straight face and took out a single piece of paper. It was the map that he was drawing as we walked.
車に乗っちゃったから 地図が全然わからなくなっちゃったな。一応方角はこうだと思うんだけど。
Raul draws our rough location on the map while using the compass. I wonder if we can really get back to the higher ground.
平気だよ。今日歩いただけでこの遺跡の法則もだいぶ分かったしさ。
Laws? Was there even a law?
うん。これ俺が今日作った地図なんだけど、ほらここに不思議な石像と石板があったでしょ。多分扉だと思うんだ。それでここから真逆の位置にまたフクロウの絵が描かれた石があったでしょ。多分あれが扉の開く装置になってると思うんだ。だから俺の予想が当たっていれば、ここら辺にまた一個石があるはずで、それを押せば扉が。
Raul drew a picture of an owl on the map while mumbling so. Raul's theory is that if the apparatus activates, the store door will open. He really is Raul the treasure hunter. I also thought that we can make a movie if we film this whole thing. But do you think there will be an exit beyond this securely closed door? Won't there be another trap for intruders? While I thought about making a movie, I remembered a similar sequence in that action movie, Human Aptra. When I asked Raul about that, he shook his head.
それだったら入ってきた時に死んでると思うんだよね。
Thanks for the comforting words. Oh, right.
出口があるかはわからないけれど、秘宝があるのは間違いないよ。この先へ行けばきっと何かが待っている。
How about outside?
大抵秘宝を手に入れたらすぐ近くに脱出のための出口があるはずだから、進めばなんとかなるよ。
Raul says so, but his eyes were shining, full of curiosity. It's obvious that the treasure hunting is his main focus now. A lost hidden treasure, huh? I couldn't help but be afraid that Lord Pluto might be angry at us rather than that. I kind of felt it, the feeling of a god in these ruins. Of course, I don't know if that's actually Lord Pluto, though. First, all of this is the first time for me to come to the underground besides the subway. I'm kind of uneasy now. Celestia is above the sky. In that sense, the underground was a kind of creepy place since I can't see the sky. I want to see the sky soon. It was different from Celestia, and from the above ground, I shivered at the unique feeling here. I just want to go back to above ground ASAP. In order to do so, I need to recover my energy and be able to walk tomorrow. The sources of energy are good sleep and meals. I must eat well. I sipped the soup and bit the crackers. I was impressed that the food was the same as those in the adventure movies. How do you know? You've never been in a movie. And finally, after dinner, we decided to sleep, but...
はい、じゃあこっちおいで。
You like come cuddle with me. Raul laid down and called me into his arms, ready to embrace me.
ごめんね。寝袋1個しか持ってきてなくてさ。でもこうやって詰めれば一緒に寝られるから。
I guess I'll sleep on the ground.
ダメダメ。地面じゃ疲れが取れないよ。それにちょっと狭いかもしれないけど、こっちの方があったかいから。
I thought it was more than too confined, so I refused politely. I'll sleep on that root of the tree. I'll be fine. My bed in Celestia was so hard too.
ダメ。いつ地上に出られるかわからないんだ。体力は温存しなきゃダメだよ。
Get in my sleeping bag.
照れてる場合じゃないでしょ。体力回復のためだよ。とにかくおいでよ。
I would not take no. He scolded me with a serious look and I agreed. This is definitely not the time to be shy. I need a good sleep to move on tomorrow. Alright. I nodded and obeyed him, but... Yep, I definitely can't sleep like this. The sleeping bag was too narrow for the two of us to sleep in it. We couldn't move our legs properly and we were sticking closely and I hesitated to even breathe. You should get out of the sleeping bag and sleep somewhere else. Oh, I should. Sleeping on the ground may be uncomfortable, but being able to move is probably worse. I will...
大丈夫大丈夫
He pats my back and hugs me, and I was no longer able to get out of the sleeping bag.
俺のことは牛か何かだと思ってよ君は牛舎にいて牛で暖を取りながら寝てるんだ
Pretend I'm a cow and cuddle with me. What?
君は猫で俺は牛二人は仲良く育ってるんだよ
This is funny. I think that's impossible.
猫と牛は普通仲良くならないけれど2匹は子供の頃から一緒だったから周りが驚くぐらい仲良くて
He's telling her a story. Raul told me an imaginary story like he was telling me a fairy tale. He patted my back as if he was comforting me and stroked my hair. As I listened to his quiet voice, I gradually cared less about the narrowness and started to be sleepy. Give us a CG. I need to end this episode. How warm. My body got warmer and warmer and my eyelids started to get heavier. Maybe my fatigue from walking all day provoked it. I heard the soft thumps of his heart. It was so relieving. The heat from Raul was very comfortable, and I put my face directly on his chest and closed my eyes. My own little minotaur. Today he guided me all day. He lent me his hand and we climbed up the hill, and he held me so that I wouldn't fall out of the car. I thought from my heart that I would be fine as long as I'm with him. My whole body was relieved. I fell asleep at once. I woke up because of an unsettling smell. What?
静かに動かないで
Uh-oh. What? Raul's sharp voice made me wake up at once. Once I opened my eyes, the campfire was off. It was off. Lukewarm wind blew somewhere nearby. Raul pulled his backpack while he assumed a pose of defense right next to me. In that moment, we heard the growl of a beast in the darkness. Uh-oh. Someone's there. My spine suddenly froze.
ランタンをつけるよ
Yeah. I swallowed my saliva, then nodded. We struck a match while watching out of danger, and the moment we turned on the lantern, it appeared from the dark. That was pretty cool. A face with sharp fangs, strong arms and legs like a lion's, and the bat's wings on its back. A manticore. Surprisingly, there was a ferocious beast that should be in Celestia. What's a manticore doing here? It's usually in a cage in a Celestia.
これ本物のマンティコアなの意外とちっちゃいんだね
He's like, I'm so happy. He succeeded to make it small after many years. You shrank it. I think it was because Lord Hermes loved this form and wanted to make it his messenger, and he removed the poison and made it small, but that doesn't mean he removed its brutality too. He said that he can't make use of it.
じゃあ深海の檻から逃げ出しちゃったのかな
I don't know, but no doubt that beast is very dangerous. The tail is no longer poisonous, but those fangs and those strong legs remain. Anyway, I'll see if we can talk. It might remember the scent of God. It's growling at me.
どっちかっていうと勝手にサイズいじりやがってって顔してない
You mean he hates gods?
一国の軍隊を食い尽くすほどの凶暴な怪物だって伝えられてるしねどうする戦う
Raul cracked his neck and began to prepare. I quickly touched the necklace on my neck. Wait, that's too dangerous. First of all, I tried to make it fall in love with Cupid's arrow.
えキューピッドの矢で
Fall in love with what? Guess if the manticore falls in love with us, it might come to our side. I activated the Cupid's arrow without looking away from the manticore. Manticore, fall in love with me. I pulled the bow and aimed for the manticore, then I shot the arrow out of breath. Ah. Wait, did it parry it?
へえ これは興味深いや。マンティコアにキューピッドの矢は刺さらないんだね。
Seriously, I've never heard of such an animal.
世紀の大発見だね。
In the moment, the manticore lowered his body as if ready to pounce. It seemed like the manticore was prepared for battle after I fired the arrow.
対話もキューピッドの矢もダメか。となると仕方ない。
It's funny. He's
俺
gonna
が相手するよ。
he's gonna wrestle it. But how are you gonna? Instead of reply, Raul put his hand on his clothes.
知ってる？古代ギリシャじゃ
Oh
パンク
my
ラチョンは
goodness.
裸でするんだ。相手に掴みかかる隙を与えずに済むからね。
He's gonna get naked. He slipped off his clothes and then he is now naked right in front of me. What? I understand that they did paint ration naked, but did you really have to take off your underpants?
でもこれがパンクラチョンの正式スタイルだよ。それに今更隠すような間柄じゃないでしょ。
He's like, you've already seen it all, it's fine. Forget that. It's dangerous to reveal your vitals.
古代ギリシャの戦士たちはみんなこの姿で戦っていたんだ。だから俺も一度これでやってみたいって思ってたんだよね。
But his dream to paint ration naked. Raul grinned violently and faced the manticore.
さあマンティコア、覚悟するといい。キューピッドの加護を受けし、パンクラチョン世界大会優勝者ラウルが相手だ。
Raul kicked the ground and ran, then he jumped at the manticore.
はあ。
Raul got behind and screwed up the manticore's legs in order to avoid being attacked by its fangs and claws. Why can't you just say, like, I don't know, pinned down his legs? It, like, takes on a totally different meaning when they don't translate it properly. This is... Hey look, Pink Russian naked. It was the complete same figure as the Pink Russian statue we saw in the art museum. Manticore's legs made a creaking sound, and Raul performed Pink Russian with brightly shining eyes.
はあ。どうだ。
Screwed up by the proud Raul, the manticore flapped its tail as if it insisted that it gave up. Raul Aconite, the world-famous actor, was battling a monster, naked. It was like we were in the middle of his own movies. Or no, it was like a mythical scene straight out of an ancient mural. This moment left me in awe, but then the manticore flapped its wings desperately and flicked Raul away.
なかなかやるね。
Raul, who was blown... That scared the heck out of me. I was like, what is that? Raul, who was blown away, stepped back quite a lot and lowered the center of gravity of his body.
でも俺もまだまだ行くよ。はあ。
He lowered his body and kicked into the air. I was impressed by his heroic actions, but then I accidentally caught sight of his crotch and choked. Oh my goodness. Like, why do I have to read this? I really want him to at least wear his underpants. You don't have to say that you saw it. I mean, he's running around naked. Of course you've seen it. That's so loud. This time he punched straight with his fist. The manticore lost his balance and tumbled, then he put it in a headlock. Elbow, high kick, body blow. By using both his arms and legs, Raul cornered the manticore without mercy. Come to think of it, the only foul in Pink Russian is to blind or bite the opponent, and anything else is fine.
とどめだ。
In that moment, Raul wound up and hit the manticore's head with full strength. Finally, the manticore fell on the ground.
勝った。
What the heck? Where'd you get a bell from? You're amazing, Raul.
君のおかげだよ。
He smiled and turned around. I choked again by looking at Raul, who looked proud, although he wasn't hiding his front. Now then, if you're all done here, would you mind getting dressed? He's not embarrassed. You've seen it all.
はーい。
And again, me and Raul got dressed again, but in that moment, we heard another rumble. It was similar to that when Raul moved the statue of Erixis. Erixis?
今度こそケルベロスかな。
Don't say such a vicious thing. What in the world will appear from where, or is it going to be a car again? When I looked around quickly, I found the manticore sinking into the ground. This is definitely a ride. Were these ruins really made 2,000 years ago? It's too playful to be so. When I raised my face, I found part of the wall open. Look, it's opening.
そこ、壁じゃなくて扉だったんだ。
The big store made of stone opened, making clouds of dust.
マンティコアを倒したから遺跡の装置が作動したんだね。よかった。行き止まりじゃなかったんだ。
Hey, are these ruins really from ancient times?
それは石や壁画の劣化具合から見て間違いないよ。
But can the ancient people make such ruins?
きっとこの遺跡を作った当時の王様か神官かは神とも仲良かったんだろうね。それで神に手伝ってもらって作ったんだよ。
The gods?
トロイの城壁だってアポロンとポセイドンが手伝ったって言われてるでしょ。それにピラミッドだって未だにどう作られたのか正確には解明されてない。だから現存する遺跡は神が手伝ったんだろうなって俺は思ってるんだ。まあ手伝ったのは宇宙人だって言ってる人たちもいるけどね。
Aliens. Aliens.
そう、古代宇宙飛行施設ってやつだね。ピラミッドやこうした遺跡を作ったのは古代に来ていた宇宙人だっていう説だよ。実際はこんなに可愛い神様がいるのにね。
But maybe those people will think that I'm an alien too.
それも面白いな。深海のある場所は実は宇宙だったりする？
It's above the sky, but it's somewhere humans can't see, so maybe it's similar to outer space.
興味深いな。地上に戻ったら古代宇宙飛行施設の本も読んでみようかな。
Just taking that door a long time to open.
あ、そしたら一緒に読んでくれる？君の意見も聞きたいな。
As we talked, the rumbling finally stopped. There was a path that wasn't there before in front of us. Raul looked at his watch and pulled his backpack.
じゃあ、そろそろ出発しよっか。
Since we are in underground, it's not clear, but as far as the clock says, we've slept for 6 hours. Since the manticore woke us up, we're still sleepy, but because we want to go back above ground ASAP, we should get going. I nodded and put the sleeping bag in Raul's backpack with him. After we got ourselves ready, we faced the direction of the new path. The wind blows in that direction. There's no doubt that the path is headed to the upwind. But the path is narrow and dark, so it was not easy to move forward. I wonder if there really is an exit over there.
多分ね。怖い？
A little. When I nodded, Raul took my hand. A big, warm hand joined mine.
大丈夫。また化け物が出てきても、俺がパンクラチオンでやっつけてあげるよ。
Hey, guess what? He's gonna fight it naked again. I was rather afraid that Raul might get injured. Humans were vulnerable when it comes to injuries, because their lives are fragile and transient. But we'll never be able to get back if we stay here. Staying here means death. There's only a limited amount of food. I made up my mind and joined Raul's hand back. He took a step forward into the dark. I think they got lazy in their translation at this point in the game because up until this point, it's been translated really good. Now it's just like, it's like they're taking the literal words and translating them, which is not quite like a fluid translation when you read it in English. Sounds of footsteps from the two echoed from the two. Now it's in third person. Sounds of footsteps from the two echoed through the stone walls. We held each other's hands and we walked the path slightly lightened by the lantern step by step. Even the sound of water dripping echoed very loudly. The path was narrow and the ceiling was low. We felt our way through the path where we might accidentally hit our heads. The lantern can only light up a limited area and an uncomfortable darkness enveloped us. No matter how far we walked, there was no light. If Raul wasn't here, I would have been too scared to move forward and turned back. But Raul was holding my hand so we could move forward. We stopped to rest a few times and ate the small bit of food we brought with us. Little by little, we made progress. We eventually encountered a division point.
参ったな。道が2つある。
Hey, this is where the choice comes in. Which way is the right path? We look at both paths alternately. Probably... I don't think it's a save, but let me just double check. Yeah, there's no more saves. So it's the left path. Okay, so let's go right first and see what's right. According to my wild or divine intuition, I think the right path is right, but I'm not sure.
わからないけど、一旦ここで休もうか。今日も結構歩いたしね。
It was true that this place was wider than the path we were walking on. I nodded and sat on the ground with Raul. Since we were both bending our bodies a little, our bodies were stiff. We looked at the divided point while we drank water and drew and ate some portable food. Wind was blowing from both sides. If only Chi was with us, I'm sure we would know the way soon. Surprisingly, Chi is good at detecting danger. Let's see. Maybe we can go back up now. So it's the left. Maybe we should go left.
わからないけど、一旦ここで休もうか。今日も結構歩いたしね。
I'm sure this place was wider than the path we were walking on. Well, that that has no extra dialogue, whatever. I nodded to sit on the ground with Raul. We were both bending our bodies a little so our bodies were stiff. We looked at the divided point while we drank the water we drew and ate the portable food. Wind was blowing from both sides. If only Chi was with us, I'm sure we would know the way soon. Surprisingly, Chi is good at detecting danger. If there was a big dog at the end of the road, Chi would lead us away from that. Chi hates big dogs. However, Chi isn't here right now. While it was said about that, Raul was shining his light on the rocks while his eyes were gleaming.
興味深いな。ここの地層、さっきまでと全然違う。ずいぶん地下へ潜ってきたみたいだね。ここの石壁、よく見ると黒くなってる。もしかして最終氷河期の頃の地層なのかな。
Is there no love catch for this one? Last glacial age?
25000年前にあった氷河期のことだよ。その頃大洪水が実際にあったらしいって地層から最近分かったんだ。創世紀のノアの箱舟、インド神話やヒンドゥー教のラプーナの松屋、ギリシャ神話におけるデウカリオーンの洪水。確かに世界中の伝承には必ず大洪水の話があるよね。それが本当にあったことかもしれないんだ。君は大洪水のことを覚えている？
Huh? I'm not sure. I don't remember it, but... Actually, I don't think I've lived for more than 25,000 years. When was the Cupid first described again? Was the flood of Deosolian in the Greek myth a flood that Lord Jupiter made happen?
そうそう。人間の不遜さや残酷さに嫌気がさして一回文明をリセットさせようとしたって話だね。
Kind of funny that they're mixing Christian religion with the with the Greek gods. Tired of humans' impudence and cruelty, huh? I've never spoken with Lord Jupiter properly, so I don't know, but Dad might say that. And when they get serious about it, gods are powerful enough to do so. It was the first time I thought that it was frightening, although I am one of the gods. I came to the human realm 6 years ago. I spent so long living as a human that I forgot that I'm actually a god. And now I don't feel all that different from humans. I can do some things when I can see the sky where Celestia is, but I'm nearly useless in the undergrounds. Anyway, we must go back outside. I was suddenly impatient and I took out the sleeping bag from the backpack. Hey, let's sleep early and take a good rest today. Perhaps we can find out the real path when we wake up.
そうだね。
Raul quit observing the stratum and sank into the sleeping bag. I laid down along with him. We fell asleep in an instant because of our fatigue and warmth, and I would be more concerned about the bones laying on the ground. A few hours later, Raul suddenly jumped up.
わかった。左だ。
He's had an epiphany. There's the love catch. That's funny. Whoa, you freaked me out. I really need a CG so I can end this episode. I woke up because of his loud voice. Raul shined his eyes and pointed to the left path.
今夢で左に行きなさいって言われた。きっとまた神が導いてくれたんだよ。
How did the god look?
それがさ、光ってて全然見えなかったんだ。でも遺跡的にはプルートかな。
The god of death. Excellent. Lord Pluto was actually pretty kind, I guess. Oh, okay. I thought Pluto was the god of death, though. Whatever. I've never met him, but if Lord Pluto was the one guiding us, I must think of him after I get back to Celestia. I don't know how to contact him, but I'll be able to find out how to do so if I ask Dad. I still don't know if he's really guiding us to the exit, though. I never want to be in the underworld when I noticed. But now I must move forward. I have to believe in the god who appeared in Raul's dream.
それで左の道は脆い地質だから気をつけて進めって。運もだって言ってたかな。
You're gonna fall into another hole. That's quite a detailed advice.
でも危険があるってことはそれだけ出口にも近づいているはずだよ。進もう。
Right. We tightened our faces and nodded to each other. After we packed our baggage, we started to walk again. It was true that the geographical features were fragile. We moved on carefully in order not to fall into holes. But the width and height was getting wider than the place we were at. It's opening up. To where? Pit. Pit.
長いね。
Yeah. The path on the left was quite wide now. We didn't have to worry about bumping our heads, and we walked hand in hand. The wind blowing gradually got stronger. Maybe it's getting closer and closer. My walking speed got faster because of my strong will to get out of this darkness. However, there were so many holes around, so I feel if I rush that I might fall. I must be careful so I won't fall. I should have been walking carefully step by step. But in that moment... Uh-oh. What is that? Huh? When I heard a strange noise, the ground nearby made a bad cracking sound. Raul, run! It's dangerous!
Huh?
Huh? I pushed Raul back to the ground I was on and collapsed at the same time. Uh-oh. He didn't say her name. Raul grabbed my arm, but he couldn't stand firm. I fell into the collapsing ground. My body crashed and rolled down the rock cliff, and I was holding onto for dear life. There was no longer any ground beneath my feet. The stone rubble rained all around me. At this rate, we'll both fall into the hole. Sweat was running down my cheeks.
しっかり捕まって。
When I looked up, I found Raul's face, who was grabbing my hand.
今引き上げるから動かないで。
Raul's hand pulled me up. I got up little by little. However, the ground beneath Raul was slowly collapsing, the rocks falling and gashed my leg. Raul, you'll fall too.
落ちる前に引き上げればいいだけだ。
Raul put the lantern on the ground and grabbed me with both hands. That was the only thing holding me. I suffocated and climbed up desperately to not be in Raul's way. I suffocated. You mean you are suffocating? Metaphorically, of course. My hand touched the depth of the cliff. In that moment, my arm was pulled with full strength and I was finally back on the ground. We got away from the holes to avoid another incident and took a heavy breather. There was ground. It was the first time I was so happy to lay on the dirt. What a relief we both didn't fall.
まさかいきなり地面に穴が開くなんて。脆い地質だって忠告してもらってたのにね。ごめん、俺を助けてくれたんだよね。
But great thing, we both are safe on the ground. Thanks for pulling me up. We smiled at each other and confirmed our safety. I suddenly feel a sharp pain run through my foot as I try to stand. Ow. Rob quickly turns his attention to me, seeing me frown in pain.
大丈夫？まさか怪我したの？
I'm not sure, but my foot hurts a bit.
見せて。
Rob looks good at me and then begins to check my body. Then he stares at my foot.
大変だ。こんな怪我をしてたなんて。早く医者に。いや、とにかく応急処置を。
Rob hurriedly looks through his backpack and grabs the disinfectant which he pours onto my foot. A sharp burning pain runs through my body. Ouch.
あ、ごめん、しみるよね。でもじっとしてて、ちゃんと処置しないと。あ、でも傷口は見ないで。ショック受けると思うから。
Oh man, it must be really bad. Which means it's pretty bad. I quietly nod and save my curiosity from looking down at the source of the pain. Come to think of it, I did fall pretty hard down there, and those rubbles did hit my leg pretty hard. I suppose that's when I was hurt. Raul quickly wrapped my foot with a bandage. The pain is actually getting worse by the minute, probably because I know I'm injured, or maybe it's because the shock is finally going away. A few minutes later, the pain is so excruciating that I can't even stand myself up now. Oh no.
よいしょっと。
Finally, RCG. They're wearing their excavation gear, so I know what kind of caption I'm going to use for it. I spent a bit of time to see if I can stand, but seeing that wasn't going to happen, Raul decides to lift me onto his back. He swings his backpack towards his front and leaves his back open for me.
これで平気？怪我に触ってない？
I think I'm fine, but what about you, Raul? Aren't you heavy? Aren't I heavy? Aren't you heavy?
平気平気。こんな時のために俺は鍛えてるからさ。
Raul laughs as if everything is okay. He then starts walking with me hanging onto his back. Raul takes one step at a time. His warm back brings both relief and grief to me as I consider what I've done here. I don't want to be a burden to him, and yet all I've done was cause pain to Raul ever since finding myself down here. I slouch against his swaying back. Raul made the fire and cooked for us. I bet I'd have been a goner if Raul wasn't here. He's a human and I'm supposed to be a god, but I can't lead him in the right direction out of here, so all I can do is cling onto him. Some help I am. All I'm doing is being a burden, a god who can't even survive on their own. I bet Raul's disappointed in me. I'm sorry, Raul. I'm supposed to be a god, but all I'm doing is burdening you.
全然平気だよ。それに神なのになんて考えないで。君は今普通の女の子でしょ。
Aw. But I'm not like this when I'm in my world. That's right, I never got hurt in Celestia before. Gods don't fall off cliffs or get hurt, and we never find ourselves in life or death situations. This is embarrassing. I never knew what it meant to live like a normal human girl. I must have looked like a child when I went against my father. If only I could see the sky, then maybe I could use my artifact to go back to my world.
え？
Aww.
空が見えるだけで帰れるの？
Don't go back. Yes, we need approval from Jupiter to come down here, but we can return easily on our own using our own artifacts. But I need to see the sky since that's where my world is, so I have no powers down here. I could heal myself easily if I was able to return. I'm so sorry. Oh, he doesn't want you to go. Raul isn't saying anything. Riley continues his trek and suddenly he stops.
天女の羽衣みたいだね。
Divine Spirit, robe. Oh, when the angel lost her robe, she couldn't return to heaven.
天女は羽衣がなければ天に帰れないのに、彼女を返したくないと思った男が羽衣を隠しちゃうって伝説だよ。
He should say something like, I want to take your bow away so you can't return.
君もキューピッドの矢がなくなればずっとそばにいてくれるのかな。
There you go. That should tell you his feelings for you. But that would mean I won't be Cupid anymore.
それでもいいよ。君が
Oh.
そばにいてくれるなら
Huh?
それでいい。むしろそれがいいよ。
Raul mumbles something as he starts walking again. I'm a bit confused now that I cling onto his swaying back. Raul is the obsessed parasite, which is why I thought he wanted me to be with him because I'm a god. So he's fine even if I'm not a god. Doesn't he like hearing me talk about Celestia? He wants me to be with him not because I'm a god, but because I'm me? What have I got myself into? I'm a god of love, Cupid. I keep telling myself that, but all I am now is a normal human girl. But I'm actually fine with that. After all, the feeling I harbor within me is something that shouldn't be found in Cupid. I push my face against his back and embrace him as hard as I can. My foot is throbbing in pain, and I'm gasping for air from the emotions within me. My eyes are getting hot, and I feel tears begin to swell, all because I'm clinging onto his back like this. He's going to find out if I cry. I need to hold myself. But I love his back. I love Raul. Oh, Pluto, I'm not fit to be called Cupid, but please let me be with him. Please, please return us back to the surface. We're not Orpheus or Eurydice, so please. I close my eyes tight and continue to pray. We haven't seen the surface yet. The dark here is dense. We continue through the darkness. Our travel doesn't seem to lead to the surface. Our backpack gets lighter as time passes, the food supply grows sparse. The pain is worse than before, and soon the pain is preventing me from even speaking. I can also tell Raul is tired too. I shouldn't be surprised since he's carried me on his back this whole time. This is definitely not good. The word stranded may be the best description for our situation now.
リネット、大丈夫？
Yes, somehow. I nod in response, but to be honest, I have no clue where we are right now. I'm not sure if I'm still on Raul's back or if I'm laying on the ground. All I know is that the warmth I feel is wherever his touch is. Are you okay, Raul? You're taking your breaks, right?
俺は平気だけど、くそ、熱が高いな。
My body is cold, but my head is piping hot. He places his cold, bruised hand onto my forehead.
プルート、いるんだろ？彼女を連れて行かないでくれよ。
Raul's voice resounds through the dark. No one replies. Raul bites down on his lip and then lifts me up in his arms.
ジュピター、ミネルヴァ、マーズ、ヴィーナス、キューピッドがピンチなんだ。頼む、助けてくれよ。彼女だけは失いたくないんだ。
Just when Raul lets out a roar.
こっちよ、今助けるから。
Is that Clarice?
この声は。
It? Okay, it's Minerva. Raul cradles me and runs towards the direction of the voice. I slowly see light overtaking the darkness. I'm getting goosebumps. Slowly, bright light surrounds us. The darkness melts away into the light. Finally. Oh, they're in Celestia. I blink and suddenly we're in Celestia. Huh?
ここはまさか深海？
I'm home. We're saved. Raul and I both breathe a sigh of relief the moment we see that we're out of the darkness. Just like that, we fall into the ground unconscious. Good night. Well, there you go. That's the end. This episode's way too long. Arrow of gold. What'd that say? Dang it. It's okay. I'll see it once I take a screenshot and put it at the end. But yeah. Oh my gosh, finally. Like, I'm sorry. This episode's gonna be so long, but I needed a CG, so I just had to keep going. I didn't want to make up one because, you know, I don't. Also, this is going to be a pain to edit. I could probably get it out tonight, but we're doing D&D today instead of Wednesday. So I'm not going to even be able to start on it until 8 p.m. 9, 10, 11. So, I mean, I can start editing it now instead of waiting until afterwards, but I really need to take a nap. It's like 10 and my coffee is gone and I'm really sleepy. So hopefully I don't sleep all the way until it's time to pick up my daughter, so that way I can start getting it edited, because oh my goodness, it's like 2.5 hours. It's going to take absolutely forever, especially with all the times I had to reread what I said because I can't see it properly because my eyes hurt. So it could even be less than 2.5 hours. I don't know. It's at 2 hours 47 minutes right now, so I'm estimating at least 2.5, but it could be shorter. I don't know. Anyway, I am very curious on what's going to happen now. I am so excited. I wonder who did save them. It probably is her aunt, like she said. But let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 5 more now. And there's no choices for the next 2. So, what is going to happen now that there is Celestia? What is Lord Jupiter going to say? She's probably going to be there too. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, if you guys did enjoy, drop a like down below and or subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.